Hello everyone. I've just come back from Birmingham Regional, but this is from the day before. This is the Cardiff Regional, 5th place, Malice deck profile. This is my first regional since these decks have come out. Managed to get 5th place, and thought we'd share with you guys this deck profile because Malice is new and there's a lot of different takes on the deck, and I think I have some interesting points to share with you guys. So I won't talk too much about the obvious stuff. So this is obvious. This is obvious. Maybe obvious. Some people play 3, play 1. Some people play 2. I think 2 is good. Do excuse the coughing. I'm ill from travelling to Cardiff and back and doing Birmingham today. This is, in this version, better at 2. If you're playing like a lore, then you play 3 of this. So I guess it depends on like what other stuff you're playing in the deck. So
something I really like about Chessy Cat is if you open Chessy Cat and like a Dormouse or a White Rabbit, you can normal summon the Chessy Cat, activate the effect, and then if it gets interrupted, you still have a really powerful normal summon for the next turn.
Yep.
So long as you get to interact and play, like you actually get to play Yu-Gi-Oh, then you're not like you haven't just lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Some people like do it in a greedy way, but sometimes it's actually good to actually like put pressure on board. It forces out the ash just so you can actually search.
I'm greedy with it. I'm going for them draws, man.
Honorary Malice monster.
This card gets cut as soon as we get a 4th name.
I do really like this card. It synergizes with, because I'm playing a certain spell, which I'll get to in a bit, but if you open this, it's not the end of the world. Then you've got the terahertz target, Code of Soul, and then now we get a bit spicier. This was the MVP all day. This itself, so you can make SP from one of your normal summons with this. Well, you can special this when there's a link monster anywhere in either grave or on the field. Try to use SP against the Ryziel board. They try and chain Detonator, you chain the SP. If the SP ends up leaving the field, this bounces any card on their field. So like, it's good in terms of like outing breaking boards. What I also realized as well, it's also a terahertz target. So I don't have to play that spell that I'm going to go and show you guys in a second. But the reason why I played that spell, and you probably will guess it's probably Signet Mining at this point, is because of this. So this plus extender, such as like Field Spell or Gold Sark, or maybe even like Signet, spoilers, discard a Malice name plus Bestial, another spoiler, allows you to like lock your opponent. You make Lingeribo, which stops, what's the trap? Imperm. Summon this on their side of the field, they can't nib you now. And there's a way to make, and I'll show you in the extra deck later, a way to make Avramax as well, and you end on GWC, so you summon a Malice Link monster under the field spell and Avramax, so they can't turn this to attack and attack to crash it, so they're just stuck, they're attack locked. But yeah.
What's the problem with this card?
The problem with this card is I played a lot of Malice mirrors, and every time I locked someone, they just went, "Oh, make Lingeribo," which was very, very fun to watch. Sarcasm, by the way. I think I said that on the last profile as well. 3 Signets. I like this card, but I think it's getting cut out because I think the whole Malice situation, like there's a lot of people playing Malice, so I think this is gonna get cut, because I also realized that like this is the reason why I like playing this as well.
To be fair, I think it's impressive that you won every Malice matchup with giving them Iblis.
I think that's the thing with this, and I think the whole theory that I'll get to talking about in a bit with the whole going second in the mirror might actually be a better way to play, but we'll probably discuss that in a bit. 4 field spells, extender, starter. Really, I love this field spell.
It's so good.
So good. And you know what? It doesn't come up often, but the attack boost does, if you can make it work, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and they have to attack link monsters as well, which is nice. And then the other extender.
This is just the field spell without burning the field spell.
Basically, yeah. So opening this is pretty cool. Sometimes if you do side into thrust and you really need to start, like you have a way to start. Hence why these are also thrust targets. And then you play the 1 GWC, 1 TB11, and 1 MTP07. I was saying to Jake earlier, like all of these are their effect, like all the malice effects, everything, like they're so like they synergize based on how you want to be creative with the deck. So like they all have different ways to just play around with and how they work with other cards. I think they're just really like interesting how creative you can be when you're making plays as well as when you're building a deck. I think these cards are really cool.
GWC is broken.
Yeah, GWC is incredible. And then we have honorary hand traps, but also extenders and engine. Bestials are incredible. Buldrake is really cool because you can see yourself like tributing stuff just to almost like negate a summon, but it's not really negating a summon.
Pairs really well with Nibiru.
Yeah, because you contribute, like you can nib, then summon this, and then they try to like make something else like Splash Mage in the mirror, for example, and you can just banish the Splash Mage. So that's pretty cool. I'd love to play more of this if more Fiendsmith Ryzeal was in the format. Actual hand traps now. We have the worst one, but it's actually the best one. I hate opening this, going first, but with the Signets, I guess they're just getting lobbed into the grave. This is just flawless. You have to play it. I played 43 in the main, so this is like the offsetting of the other three. I guess when I cut Signets, I can make it a nice whole round 40. 3 Ash. These should be at 3. These were incredible, especially Droll. You can Droll yourself under Farlos in this deck. So if they Farlos you and you open Droll, you're not going to search. You don't have to search much apart from the field spell. So if you open it, you can draw yourself. And this against Ryzeal is pretty good. And Nib, a lot of people say like Nib isn't good against Malice and Ryzeal. You know what? Like Nib, if you are concentrating and focusing on what they're doing, like Nib is actually pretty good this format. And I think these two should be at 3.
In this deck as well, you can set up your board, Nibiru yourself, and then Soul Charge it all back next turn.
Yeah.
White Boy is broken.
Which is why, like, I didn't want to side this out going first because it was like GWC.
Teach your words, isn't it? Like
Absolutely.
If you get stopped, you want a nib in your hand.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you have the best hand trap, just because it doesn't play.
Talk about the spell with this card.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. This was an MVP. Being able to just start your turn, imperm the Detonator or the Caesar is really good. But if you Bestial or if you Nibbed, these are now dead. So if you draw this for turn, like the card that everybody like says like is a board breaker going second isn't as much as a board breaker, but this does so much. Like being able to just, it's not even just against Detonator. Like everybody wants to play like a Ryzeal out for Detonator. People playing like Eclipses in the main, things like that. But in a regional format, like you might not play against Ryzeal all the time, and you don't.
This card is broken against White Binder on your turn, so like it's good against both the like all the meta decks.
It's good against like even Rogue. Like you see yourself. Where did I stop earlier today? I think I used it against Centurion. I stopped the one of the synchros with this, which was no Chaos Angel. Like I just hit Chaos Angel and it was like, yeah, cool, it's 3/9, but it's going. So like, yeah, I'm not changing this. I think this is too good not to play. And then I play the honorary. I play Thrust on the side, so like I only play 1. I don't really want to see this, but if I see it, I do want to see it, but it's not really that important. I just don't want to side into this, so I just play it in the main. And then we have the extra
quickness.
3 of the Malice Link monsters. I don't think this is not debatable. I think these 2 are mandatory. I guess some of the strikers don't play this, but the striker Malice that I think this is just mandatory. I think there's a mandatory set of Link monsters that you have to play. The Link ones, this card's incredible. You have to play this for the Nib token. I like all of these. Being able to play around in Perm. This card's really cool as well. And then the Link 2s, all these do basically the same thing plus an additional thing, apart from maybe this does a bad extra thing. It locks you into Cyburst. But this does, everybody knows what SP does, and like the attack modification comes up like with Nib tokens. I mentioned Jake saying to me earlier, I did it and it got me a game because I made someone's firewall a 15 attack. So yeah, I love this card. Link 4s, you've got the access code, which synergizes really well. You banish the Link monsters, chain blocking, puts a lot of pressure on board, good for going for game. especially in the mirror when they've already put themselves on 6-2. Really, really good. I played Avramax. This is a flex spot, so I'll pull this out for a bit, and then you play these. I see myself. I didn't make this that much. This card's really, really good, but I actually like leaving this on board, calling to an SP, because SP being able to banish this allows you to reset the effect, so you can like use the effect to like add stuff or bounce stuff on field or engraves to hand, and then SP banish, and then when it comes back it's reset, so because it's once whilst face up on the field. So these are really cool. And then you have the one, I think this is mandatory as the target. There's like other optional targets like Aggregator, Packbit. So we play Code of Soul in the main as well. So the targets for terahertz, I think this is the mandatory one. But yeah, the two flex spots were these. Sorry. Because I'm playing Ibli, being able to like Ibli lock. And then when you have the Link Monster on, a Malice Link Monster with the field spell, and they have Ibli, if they put anything to attack, they have to attack a Malice Link Monster because of the field spell. But Avramax says you have to attack it, so they can't actually out the Ibli. But unfortunately, every time I saw an Ibli, they made Lingariba. It made me want to cry. And then this, in theory, was really good. And that theory came to prove once out of the 3 times. The other 2 were games that I lost. I don't think it's Typhon's fault, particularly. The
basic idea is that you summon it, you bounce detonator, and you attack over Caesar.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that didn't come up. So, yeah. Side deck. We've got 3 of the worst card in the game. Theoretically should be banned, but it's actually awful. Anybody that thinks this is good for Malice, it's not. It doesn't actually help. Like Link Decoder just gets banished. You don't want that. I think this is actually getting cut from the side. The only reason it's in the side is because of the whole Fiend deck. So yeah, you've got 3 Eclipses. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's the best one in terms of siding. I think it's because most of the times I went up against Ryzeal going first. I didn't know if this was worth siding in. But I think going second, this card is really, really good against Ryzeal. And then I played 3 Thrust. And the Thrust targets were these 2 in the main, sorry, in the side. I wanted to put in a Evenly. But like it whole conflicts, like if they're gonna lance air me, my Evenly's dead as well. But I still think maybe 1 may be worth it. But like once I take these shifters out, I think space becomes easier to play around with. And 1 call by. I don't see, like, we don't lose to any of the main hand traps, but the ones that we do lose to, call by doesn't hit. It's only good for like a Lancer, so you want to side this in going into game 2 and game 3 just to see it for Lancer. And the MVP of the side, played a lot of Malice Mirrors. Chaos Hunter. I think Chaos Hunter is the better option if you're playing Malice. It lingers, it stays on the field, you can time it well.
There's actually not an out to it.
Like unless you preset an imperm or you play the striker version and you don't have anything in the extra monster in the main monster zone, you can widow anchor it. Out of the 4 times I was able to summon this over the weekend, over the 2 regionals, it only got outed once. And that was because of Widow Anchor, which was really sad.
Yeah, so like the outs to this card are like the Widow Anchor and Sky Striker, Chalice and Talents, but like the actual engine you can't like out this card with.
Yeah.
I think this card's really good as well.
And like, because on Lancer in the mirror, you don't want to stop yourself from like GWC not working. So like,
this is one-sided, it only affects the opponent.
Yeah, so it's just, but also there's like other decks in the format where like you may want to bring this in for. Like your opponent can't SP stuff. Your opponent can't like banish anything at all, full stop, whether it's yours or theirs. And this was the MVP. It was really, really good. So yeah, definitely recommend that Malice players should be siding this, because I do think going second in the Malice.
Quickly tell us about Shadow Contest.
Yes, so those that do know me, I put it on my Facebook recently. I, over the past 2 years, have been developing a new card game. Been working very closely with some friends, specifically Patriot Games, if you guys know them, up in Sheffield. They helped me enable this. This is a project I've been working on, and this is like a beta set. Local card game stores are where like card games thrive, and I don't want to do a Kickstarter because the card game stores don't actually get the communities being built. So I'm releasing this new set, like a beta set, for people to buy, which allows me to fund the final development of the game. So if you go to shadowcontest.com, you can get yourselves a kit. There's some mats, the rules are all there, and I'd love to see people supporting it. It's been a hell of a journey, and I thank everyone that's helped me on the journey. But yeah, and if you use the code Sanctum10, you'll get yourself 10% off as well. So yeah, please check that out.
So yeah, thank you for the deck profile, thank you for the shadow contest, thank you for watching as well guys, like, comment, subscribe.